What is up, you guys? Today, I'm going to be ranting about modern horror movies. Ugh. So basically, this will be a quick video, by the way. So you look at horror movies. They're basically a genre that don't get a lot of recognition. Genres that, you would see the neighborhood white girls flexing while watching on Snap or something. So you don't see a lot with horror movies these days. So my rant is that horror movies from the 90s, 80s, and 70s, and 2000s, and even some part of the 2010s, are better than the ones that they make these days. These horror movies that they make these days, I'll give some examples in a little bit, are atrocious, horrible, disgusting, putrid, obnoxious, awful, and they're just filled with jump scares to get you scared. You look at a movie like Halloween, you're supposed to be scared of Michael Myers. Now you're not supposed to be scared of, oh, when's the next jump scare gonna come? Oh my god, OMG. And, these days, these horror movies, all they are jump scares. And, back then, they didn't have any jump scares. And if they did, it wasn't to scare the audience, it was to scare the character. So basically, horror movies nowadays are just jump scares. And that is one part of my rant. I'll give some examples. And I'll use Rotten Tomatoes too, and IMDb. So, you look at a modern horror movie like, what is it called? There's one called the, Countdown, and that is literally ass. And I read a review on it, and I've seen it, and all it is just jump scares, and it's about a literal app that tells you when you're gonna die. And you can guess it from there. They download it, and oh, hell breaks loose. It gets a little wacky, whatnot. Yeah. And then there's this guy. It's just so bad. Don't recommend it to anybody unless you're a fool. So yeah, that's the one. That's definitely the one atrocious horror movie that there is. Then there's one called Truth or Dare. I actually saw that. Yeah. Don't know what to say about it. It's supposed to be scary, but basically the monsters that I don't remember, but pretty much the demon, like it goes into people if they get the wrong dare or whatnot, or if they don't do their dare, and it's so cringy. Like, literally, the demon looks like a Snapchat filter. Seriously. If any of people are viewing right now, go on your phone and look up Truth or Dare, movie 2017. That's another example of how modern horror movies are ass. Now let's look at good horror movies. And now we got... Oh, I forgot. So basically with Countdown has like a 26 on Rotten Tomatoes. So that is rotten. That's terrible. And then I believe that Truth or Dare has like a 10 or like a 0. And then on IMDb, I'd have to look at it again, but I believe one of them is 3.2, and then other one's 2.6. I believe Truth or Dare is 3.2, and Countdown is 2.6. But anyways, that's besides the point. So, now we're looking to good horror movies, and I'm a big horror movie buff, but I've seen a lot, basically every one that I'm allowed to see. So, you look at my favorite horror movie, which is The Shining from 1980, directed by Stanley Kubrick. That's my favorite horror movie, and you know why? Because it doesn't rely on jump scares to scare you. It's supernatural, it's a really good horror movie, and it's a greatly built, suspenseful, slow-paced horror movie. And a lot of people aren't a big fan of those because they don't have jump scares. But I don't like jump scares. And I think, personally, that it's better not to have jump scares. And that is my favorite horror movie. Let's look at another horror movie example. A Nightmare on Elm Street. Alright, so that's a classic. I'm sure everybody's seen that. You realize Freddy Krueger to scare the audience. Let me rewatch that in my head. No jump scares. Yep. All it is a guy, I'm sure you all know, Freddy Krueger was burnt by parents because I think he molested boys. So he goes into people's minds, right? He goes into people's minds, or dreams, and then if he kills them in their dreams, they die in real life. Pretty simple, right? I don't remember one jump scare in that. And if Yeah, so, and that has, The Shining has an 8.4 out of 10 on IMDb, and I believe like a 90 or 780 Rotten Tomatoes score. Nightmare on Elm Street, I believe, has a 7.5 on IMDb. So, naturally, that's a good horror movie. And then let's think of one more example. So there's this one called it's not well reviewed, but I liked it because it unnerved me, and it didn't use jump scares. It was called the Creep. The Creep. It's kind of odd, but I liked it because it didn't rely on jump scares, and it generally disturbed me. It was pretty creepy. There are lots of and I won't spoil anything. A guy gets hired on. So a guy hires people on Craigslist to come and record his life with manipulative lies to get them there. And the whole movie, it's just them two, and it's just unnerving. It's so... I recommend it. It only has a 6 point something out of 10 on IMDb, but I would have to disagree with that. I mean, yeah, it has its ups and downs, but it's a great movie. It's a great movie. It's a one-trick pony. Alright guys, that probably does it for this video. If you like this video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and smash that like button like it's the hottest girl in the world. And if you're watching this, peace out, enjoy,